Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Hobby Night. I'm Angela, and today we're going to be talking about some of the Warhammer 40k 10th edition faction previews that they've been dropping. We're also going to be chatting about BattleTech, and even my friends over at No Rules Bard. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in and start with Warhammer 40k, because as you can see, we've got the Imperial Guard to talk about. We had a faction preview drop for the Imperial Guard today, and I am incredibly excited about this because there's a lot of cool things coming for the Imperial Guard, although I am a little bit disappointed that we are basically invalidating their recent 9th edition codex so very, very quickly, and I just wanted to get that out first because it does legitimately bother me that that is just a thing that happened, and I feel like anybody who may have bought that codex potentially just wasted their money, and that sucks. I don't really like it, but I am liking what we're seeing coming for 10th edition for the Guard. Specifically, I want to call out two main things. One of which is this voice of command rule. Voice of command seems like it's going to be very, very powerful. I mean, on top of the fact that we already know tanks are getting really buffed, some of the weapon strength on some of the Guards units is also really, really up. And so they're looking strong already, but voice of command, this is, I think, going to be a big game changer for the Guard. And I also think it's very thematic to the Guard, which I love to see. So what is this ability? Well, this allows your officers to issue commands to the units that are eligible. An officer will have a certain number of orders that they can issue to their units, and that could vary between like one and multiple. They haven't really specifically given details on that, but regardless, at minimum, one order per officer. The officers can issue one of 6 orders to various units, things that Guardsmen players might be familiar with, like move, 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 take aim, first rank fire, second rank fire, although of course they'll be tweaked to be more in line with the 10th edition rule set. But the thing that I think is really important to call out here is officers are more than likely also going to be characters that have the keyword leader, which means that they can end up being embedded into units. And units, as we're going to see here very shortly, can be a lot larger, which means that there's going to be a lot more orders being issued, a lot more buffs going out to various units, and I just think it's going to feel more like you're actually in command of a battalion of Guardsmen when you're running an Imperial Guard army, and that is really, really exciting. Now, I'm called out that unit sizes are going to be bigger, and we know that because we got a sneak peek at the Cadian Shock Troopers. Now, these boys have a lot of options, and we already knew that because of that new codex that recently released. Their upgrades are now free, and you can kind of kit them out how you want to, although there are limitations when you're going to the 20-man unit size, which is now back in the main thing that I want to talk about. I am so happy that the Guard can run 20-man units again. I actually had forgotten that they couldn't, because to me, the Guard have always been a horde army. Like, when I first started playing Warhammer, I was going up against Guard armies that were predominantly infantry and were supported by tanks, but they weren't pure tank armies. And so the fact that like they only could take 10 men in their units, I had forgotten because that just seemed ridiculous. So the fact that we're back up to 20 makes me really, really excited. Now, those limitations to the weapons I was mentioning, you can only take up to 2 of each special weapon in a 20-man unit, which is a little sad because previously there were editions where you could just have like an entire squad of 20 flamers or some ridiculous number like that. And we're not seeing that as much. But I know that there's other special weapons units out there, like we saw in the preview for Warhammer Fest. So that is still being covered places, it's just not being covered here. And I'm really, really happy with what we're seeing coming out of the Guard, but I also want to talk about what we're seeing from the Necrons. We've talked about the Imperial Guard and some changes coming to their faction. Now I want to talk about the Necrons and some changes coming to theirs, because this is a faction that, unlike the Imperial Guard, who recently just had a codex update, the Necrons haven't seen a codex update in quite a while, and seeing these new rules makes me incredibly excited. There are 3 in particular things that I want to talk about, starting with reanimation protocols. Because reanimation protocols, this is kind of, in my opinion, what Necrons are known for. Like, they are supposed to be reanimating, and they're supposed to be very difficult to actually remove from the board. And now, with this new reanimation protocols ability, I actually think that they might be, and that sounds perfect for them. So how this works is now any unit with reanimation protocols at the end of your command phase will get to reanimate D3 wounds and that will either be able to, buff them up to full wounds or potentially even bring back a full model that may have died and just reinforce that unit, which is great. On top of this, reanimation protocols for Necron warriors is even spicier. Necron warriors get to recover D6 wounds, and in addition to that, if they are within range of an objective, then they get to reanimate D3 plus 3 wounds, guaranteeing a minimum of 3 with a maximum of 6. And I just think this is really, really good for the Necron faction. Now, on top of that, I also want to talk about command protocols, because command protocols previously, if I remember correctly, was kind of a haphazard way to buff your units, and now it's been really simplified. It's just something that Necron characters can do when they're added to a unit, when they get added in as a leader, and it basically just gives them a +1 to their hit rolls to whatever unit they're buffing. This is simple, but it is reliable, which is the same thing with the reanimation protocols. Both of these things are now so much more reliable, which is exactly what the Necrons needed, because they're supposed to have that sticking power, like I said. And if they can't reliably do that, then they're not really fulfilling their role in this game and how this faction was designed. So now they actually are. Now, the final thing that I want to talk about is the monolith, because this is a unit that I absolutely love, but almost never gets run because it's kind of not worth the points that it costs. But now I actually think it is a lot more valuable, and I really hope that we start seeing Necron players use it. Because if you look at that data sheet, you might notice that it has an OC score of 8 or an objective control score of 8. This is big. That means it actually can hold an objective. And now, because of its Eternity Gate being significantly better and being able to teleport units in to reinforce, you can actually reinforce that objective with, say, those very powerful Necron warriors that get that D6 wound back when they reanimate. I don't know, that just seems really, really potent, and I love what we're seeing out of the Necrons, and I can't wait to see what we get for the Death Guard. Just look at this big, meaty bull man. He is glorious, and he is the newest star player coming to Blood Bowl from Forge World. This is Garshnak Blackhoof. I almost nailed that. This is Garshnak Blackhoof, and he is majestic. I'm a big fan of the Blood Bowl miniatures. If you guys have been following this channel for any length of time, you probably know this, and this guy is no exception. He's big, he's angry, he looks like he's ready to kick ass, and I want to add him to my non-existent Beastman team because now I feel like I need to start one just to add him in. I mean, really, the shoulder pad alone is just top. I just love the designs that they do for these characters, and it makes me incredibly happy to continue to see exceptional Forge World models coming out for Blood Bowl. If you are looking for even more Warhammer news coverage and you happen to miss my reactions to all of the trailers at Warhammer Fest, well, don't worry, because you can go and watch them after this video. I'll make sure to link to the Warhammer 40k one, which will then also link to the Age of Sigmar one right after that, and you can get your full take of everything that I thought about all the models that came out at Warhammer Fest. Next up, my friends over at No Rules Barred have a new Kickstarter that is currently live, and I figured we could learn about it together. So without further ado, let's join Adam and find out all about their latest Kickstarter.
Hello, I'm Adam from No Rules Barred, and if you've ever subscribed to No Rules Barred,
I have,
and you should too, you know that one of our signature series is No Rules Barred Plays Blood on the Clocktower.
A very, very good series.
The greatest social deduction game ever made. We
I kind of have to agree with him. It's pretty good. It's pretty darn good.
Here it is on Zoom. Look at all of our terrible cameras. And then the series took off, and we thought, you know what? We want to do this.
It really did. Exploded for them. I even got to be part of some of the episodes.
Playthroughs on the internet, and I hope that we did that. We launched a Kickstarter last year to make a series of in-person Blood on the Clocktower games taking place on this beautiful set. Look how nice it is.
It's really cool.
Cameras,
I want to go and visit it one day.
It's delightful. Look at all this production value. And that series has now come to a close. And we want to do another one.
Yay!
And that's where you come in. We are launching a Kickstarter for NRB Plays Blood on the Clocktower live and in person, Series 2. Now, here is
Electric
the big
Boogaloo.
hook.
Oh, the big hook. Hold on.
As to why you
donate
okay,
tell me about the hook, Adam.
To this Kickstarter. Well, actually, there's two reasons. First of all, watch the videos that we made. Aren't they lovely?
They are pretty good.
Do you want to see more?
Go watch them.
Well, here's how you can.
After this video.
Of all, the big gimmick for season 2, and we're really excited about this, is in our season finale of our first series, we played a game with a brand new character, the Vizier.
That's right,
and
I remember that.
this time around, in season 2, we've talked to the Pandemonium Institute, and they have agreed that every single episode of season 2 will contain a brand new
that's so cool!
Character. We're going to look forward to it. It's going to be
that is very, very exciting.
The
characters in this game are
Daddy Ben's
wild.
going to be super stressed running new characters for us in a production environment. Thanks, Daddy Ben. You're the best. So here's why you should donate to season 2. It's going to be very similar to season 1's Kickstarter. We're going to start with 2 episodes. If that gets funded, we'll make 2. There'll be stretch goals. If you fund us to make 4, we'll make 4.
Makes sense.
If you fund us to make 6, we will make 6. Now this time
we should try to get them to 6, everybody.
Slightly higher for a number of reasons. First of all, inflation, and that paying people a little bit more to combat, the old cost of living crisis, and other little quality of life improvements that we're going to try and make along the way to make these episodes even better than season 1.
Which were pretty good.
It's up to you. If we don't reach the funding, we won't make it. It's how much you guys want to see a second series of NRB plays Blood on the Clocktower in person, this time with brand new characters. But that's it. No pressure. If you liked what we've done, here is visual proof of what we can make, and we want to make more, and we need your help to do it because it costs a load of money. A load of money. Sullivan, how much money does it cost?
Bloody loads.
Bloody loads!
Bloody loads.
So if you can help us out, that'd be great. If you don't want to, well then, right here.
Whoa, Adam! Holy cow, Adam!
Get on board.
Oh my goodness. Well, outside of Adam flipping us the bird if we don't donate to his campaign, I am actually incredibly excited for this. The team over at No Rules Barred are a fantastic group of people, and their previous campaign and the episodes that they made because of that were a lot of fun, as I was saying over top Adam as he was talking about things. So I'd really love to see this one get funded completely, get the full 6 episodes again, and see what they're going to do this time, and see what these new characters are that are being introduced to the game. Because there are a lot of really fun, unique, interesting characters in Blood on the Clocktower. I almost called it No Rules Barred, but in Blood on the Clocktower as a social deduction game, it's a wild experience, and watching it is so entertaining. So if this sounds like something you might be interested in, definitely make sure to check out their Kickstarter. They are almost funded completely for at least the first 4 episodes, I believe it is, but we should totally help them get to 6, so make sure to check it out. I've left a link in the video description below for you. The 1995 classic Brikwar is getting a new edition brought to you by Modiphius Entertainment. Originally created by Mike Rayhawk, this is a game that takes strategy wargaming and combines it with brick building toys like Lego, allowing for a lot of diversity and allowing you to construct all of your pieces, all the terrain and everything out of these brick built toys, which for me is incredibly exciting because, as you guys probably know if you've been following this channel, I like Lego, and I also like wargaming. We don't know when Brikwar is specifically going to be out, but we do know that it will be available for pre-order at some point through Modiphius' website, but also through your friendly local game store. So if this is something that sounds exciting to you, maybe you happen to own a lot of Lego like I do and you want to use them for wargaming in the future, make sure to keep an eye on this and check your local game stores to see if they might be carrying it. The last thing that I want to talk about today in the news is the new Essentials set coming from BattleTech that is going to be exclusive to Target. Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with Target exclusive items for board games, typically, because normally when these kinds of products are created, they eventually end up going to retail locations or being sold on the publisher's website itself afterwards as part of the exclusivity deal. But it doesn't seem to be the case for this one for BattleTech, which strikes me really strangely, despite the fact that I am also very excited to see BattleTech getting starter sets, standalone starter sets. in big box stores in North America like Target, because that means more people will be exposed to it, but also less people will be exposed to it because Target doesn't ship internationally. And if Catalyst Games isn't going to be having it available for pre-order themselves, then I don't know how they expect their European or Asian fans to necessarily get their hands on this product super easily. And that just strikes me as really weird. But beyond that, we're getting more BattleTech content, which is super, super exciting. This is going to be a 2-player starter set that has everything that you need to go ahead and just jump straight into the game. It comes with 2 miniatures, specifically the Legend Killer and Yen Lo Wang, which I know are more iconic characters, which is really cool to see. Plus, of course, maps, dice, cards, everything that you need to play. So if you're in North America and there is a Target near you, maybe try to grab this when it becomes available in June. But for those of you that are internationally around, maybe see if you can contact someone in the US to get it for you, because otherwise I'm not really sure how you're expected to get your hands on this one. All right, this has been it for this week in hobby news. Let me know what you thought of the faction updates from 40K, what you think of the Target exclusivity for the next BattleTech starter set, and also whether or not you're excited about Brick Wars, because frankly, I am. I have been Angela, and before I head out, I do want to give a huge thank you to my patrons for making it so content like this continue to happen. Without your guys' support, we would not be doing this, so thank you very, very much. I hope you all have a wonderful hobby night, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!